Hey, welcome back to DieCash Cars. So a late Black Friday release. Just wanted to go through and show with you what I picked up from Black Friday. And yes, what everybody's searching for. No, I'm just kidding. I was very hesitant on Black Friday shopping this year. In fact, I did not plan on it at all. Did not want to go through the crowds. Did not want to fight or hunt over all the Q case and PK's bins that have been hitting Walmarts, and I'm sure Target got a plethora of boxes and things like that as well too. I went very late on Friday, almost around noon. All the deals, all the good stuff was probably snapped up already. But sitting on the Target shelf in the clearance section, I did end up finding this Hot Wheels 50 pack for not a terrible price. I mean, you get 50 cars and the sale price was $49.99, so $50, essentially $1 a car, which is great if you think about it, because they're right now sitting at about $1.18 at your Walmarts and Targets right now. And for the most part, these are a lot of newer releases. So I mean, just looking at the cars displayed in the window here, you got the recolor of the Toyota van, you got this Porsche that would have been the Super Treasure Hunt. This Nomad I know is a new color for the P or the Q case. This Charger I know is one of the more recent releases. So I thought, why not? It's Black Friday, it's the holidays, might as well rip open a 50 cal box, and whatever's not good I can at least give them to my kids so that they can just run them down their tracks. And in all honesty, I have been anticipating picking up one of these Target exclusive 50 cal boxes for the main reason that I have a buddy, and amongst my friends we just call him Eminem, and not the rapper Eminem, guys, but M&M, for reasons I will not share in this video. But he is convinced that there are super treasure hunts in here, or at least the chance of a super treasure hunt, and he actually went through a couple of these earlier in the year when the Volkswagen K4 Racer was the super, and I had to basically talk him off a ledge, like, hey, I don't think there's super treasure hunts in there, just because it's always the same mix of cars, it's always the same registered combination of cars inside of these boxes. And from what I'm seeing on social media, there are no supers in here. There's not even a chance of it. I personally have bought maybe one of these in the past, a long time ago, maybe a year or a year and a half ago for my kids, and I don't recall a super or even hints of a super. No treasure hunts or anything like that. But again, I had to get one to put it on video to prove to my buddy Eminem that there are no supers in here. So without further ado, guys, let's get started. And everything's pretty meticulously taped and put together, which just makes this nice overall display. So nice box, nice presentation by Target and Hot Wheels, and we start off with the letter A. This Audi Quattro Sport looks good in the white recolor. Our first fantasy cast of the day, the Dune Crusher in a blue, and this is a plastic body, which is disappointing. Got a Dodge Viper. So this is my favorite body style of the Dodge Viper. It just reminds me of the good old days when I was a kid, and I remember this car more often than not just as a poster sitting on my wall. Another fantasy cast, the Lightning Bug. And there's that Dodge Charger Hellcat that I was talking about a second ago. Really nice, brilliant metallic purple. Looks good with the bronze wheels as well too. Got a Corvette in this funny looking copper color. Fast Feline. We got the Porsche 935, which I guess I talked about earlier. This would be the super treasure hunt for one of the previous cases. As you can see in short card format, this is not the super treasure hunt. And one of the classics that has been released in the last couple of years, the 1986 Toyota van. Very retro inspired colors and decals on this car. Looks great. Even those little slotted disc wheels look really good for this car. Got the classic 55 Nomad. This is actually a fairly old casting. I mean, let's just look on the bottom here. 1969, guys, is when this car was developed, so it's almost one of the originals. Then you got the clip rod. You could put your stash of money right there. It's actually kind of nice. Look at that. This might be another featured DieCash Cars right here. And then you got this McLaren Solus GT in all white. Actually looks pretty good. And then you got another inner sleeve of cars, and we'll go through these one by one as well too. Got another fantasy cast here, the Skyfire. Cool name. Got a Subaru WRX STI in gray. This would go pretty well with some of the 22Bs that I have in a gray color. You got a little lowrider action here, Lincoln Continental 1964. Got this Rescue Duty fantasy cast. I know my kids would like that one. Got another one that my kids will probably like, but this is a tow truck heavy hitcher. Moving on to some licensed cars here. Plymouth GTX in blue, looks pretty good. I'm sure something like this in real life would be a showstopper. And this isn't terrible. Look at this, Mad Manga and this Japanese police livery. Reminds me of RoboCop for some reason, but looks pretty good. Very detailed. Got that red tinted glass. This one might actually be a keeper. Got another Alfa Romeo GT V6 3.0. This time recolor in white. And again, one of the first times in mainline that we've seen these new wheels. Honda Super Cub in yellow this time. It's a Honda, but it's not my cup of tea. This one probably get passed on to my kids. Start grabbing these 2x2 here. Mad Mike Drift Attack, and I wonder if this is based on a real car or not. Looks like something that could be fabricated in a shop by Mad Mike. And then you got this 911 Turbo Porsche tune version. This is actually pretty slick looking. Decals front and rear. Man, this is like a classic, and to have it in a short card, such a small cartoony short card like this too, it just really accents this cast. Jumping over here, Rally Art Pajero Evolution in white. Got the limited grip, this time in blue. First time we saw it was in black. Got a Land Rover Series 2. And then and now, we were talking about the Charger Hellcat earlier. Now you got the original, also in a similar paint scheme, purple. A Volvo 240 Drift Wagon, so the QK Super. So again, talking to my buddy Mr. M&M, no Super, it's just the mainline. And over here you got the 57 Jeep FC. Got a red recolor of the Audi Quattro 1990. Got a Pontiac Firebird, classic 80s graphic livery here. Even got a small screaming chicken there on the front. And last but not least, out of this sleeve, you got a Ford Mustang Boss 302 in this Falcon livery. And then the last little section of this 50 pack unboxing. And if I had any hope in there being a super, this would be it. But again, guys, I'm 99.999% positive that there are no supers in this Target exclusive 50 count box. But here we go, Hot Wheels Papa Wheelie. Interesting livery here. You got a little eyeball there. Just an odd looking cast, to be perfectly honest. Another fantasy cast, power panel. Got a Ford F-150 Lightning Custom with crazy arches and a body kit and basically a snowplow there. And today we did get the first snowfall for the year, so very fitting. Got another lowrider This one, a fantasy cast, laying lowrider. And what's with the eyeballs here? What's Mattel watching us through these liveries? And interesting, but tune, twin mill with the number 2 on it. Got the Solero GT in this matte red, and I've actually been wanting to pick this car up just because it looks neat. So this one might be added to the collection. You got a Koenigsegg Gamera in this amber orange color. And oh man, that would have been it, guys. That would have been the super right there. The Datsun Bluebird Wagon 510 short card. But unfortunately not the super, but still a stunning car, still a stunning release. I love that color shifting blue purple color there, and again you do get those new mainline wheels here for 2023, so can't be mad about that. And over here you got a Hummer EV and a Cloud Cutter. Nothing much to talk about. You got a Water Bomber. I'm gonna start grabbing them 3 at a time now, guys. Just taking too long here. But Rock and Railer, El Camino, Cadillac Seville, recolor in the blue. Over here you got the Sandburner. Nothing to really talk about. You got a Mad Splash. So this is pretty cool. It's a speedboat, and then you got the water and the wheels all cleared out to make it look like it's actually just kind of floating on thin air, which is pretty neat. You got a police livery track pursuit Dodge Charger drift car. And last but not least, guys, you got a Jeep Scrambler recolor. If you look at this really fast, it almost makes it think it's like some kind of Toyota FJ Cruiser or something like that, because it's kind of got that red, yellow, and orange TRD graphic to it. But nope, just the Jeep, guys. So here are the highlights out of the Target exclusive 50 count box. I would say that my favorite has to be this tuned Porsche 911 3.6. Just looks super cool, and again, as I talked about when I pulled it out, just looks really neat on a short card being a tuned car. I might actually have to go and get the short cards of the tuned Toyota Supras and the tuned Dodge Chargers, just because I think it just adds to that extra appeal of it being a tuned car. And last but not least, you got the N, P, and Q case main lines, not the supers, guys, because again, there is no chance at getting a super treasure hunt out of these Target exclusive 50 count boxes, regardless of what people may think or say, guys. I mean, essentially you would have had 3 chances here and nothing, but nonetheless still cool to get this Porsche in a short card, the 510 Wagon in a short card, and even this Drift Wagon, which looks really good in a short card, guys. And if you're a short card collector, I mean, this 50 count box might be worth it, you know, if you just want some cars to open and a different card back, and you got kids to just give all the extras to. But from a collector's standpoint, guys, I would have to say that even at a Black Friday $50 sale price, not worth it. I mean, in all honesty, guys, all 10 of these cars right here, secondary market, probably no more than $2 to $3, so you're looking at about $20 to $30 for just these 10 highlighted cars here. So in all honesty, I lost money on the deal, about $30, which is pretty bad, right? But again, my kids wanted these. They wanted to just open up a bunch of Hot Wheels, as they always do. So worth it from a dad standpoint, but from a collector standpoint, guys, maybe stay away from these. It's also pretty interesting because I've seen a lot of posts about these Target 50 packs. There's always the question about if there's supers or not. So again, I reiterate, no supers. I've even seen some thievery go on at Target where folks will actually go into the stores, open up these 50 count boxes, and then Target has no choice but to just put individual short cards on the pegs. And I don't even know if these UPCs scan up at Target, but they'll just be hanging on the pegs, and Target will just try to pass them off as $1.18 cars and main lines. Do yourself a favor, guys. No need to dig through these boxes. There's no supers. There's nothing good. It's basically just the mainline assortment, but on short cards, guys. But that's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you guys had better luck than me on your Black Friday adventures. And as always, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on DieCash Cars.